Welcome to Phazon Labs, the internet's premier Metroid Futurist podcast. I am, as always, your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me this week is Michael Gravity Missile Brown. And every week, we get together here and we bang our space rocks together to make moon dust. And failing that, we might make a Metroid game idea that maybe you'll enjoy, and one day we might hope to get to play. So let's dive in. Michael, you got one for us this week. What do you got?
All right, this one's silly, but we're gonna do it anyway.
I like silly. Some of my favorites have been silly, including the Farmville one.
This one is a different kind of silly, though. I want to see a Metroid crossover: Metroid versus Predator versus Alien. I'm
throwing Terminator for good measure.
No. These other two make sense with this. I'm thinking you're all on a space station, and survival is tantamount to anything else. The alien is obviously hunting you both. The predator is hunting you both. And I'm getting this mental image of some of the bits from Other M, where you'd be walking on a single plane, but the camera would be slightly over your shoulder. So, I'm seeing, Predator hiding invisible in the foliage. Foliage. Shut up. You walking, and then all of a sudden, if you're paying attention, you could see the target reticle on your back. So with a fast enough hit of the melee counter, you actually dodge it or whatever. And eventually, I'm picturing the concept of almost a team up between the Predator and Samus just to survive this, because the aliens got out of hand, a la one of the damn movies. So what do you got?
So my brain actually locked onto another idea, and I just want to float it out here just for a second. You've got Metroid and Predator and Alien as a series in a whole versus thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be really interested to see it done as an RTS, where you have, troop forces for each team that are canonical. Real-time strategy.
Okay, that's
Think StarCraft.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each one has its, its specialties and weaknesses. I would love to just see them do a totally buck-wild, nonsensical story to tie it all together. I don't even care what it is. Give me your best Hollywood stupid idea just to have a hook to hang this on so that it has to exist.
Now, the issue with it doing there's a real-time strategy is I'm assuming there'd be a small team of predators, there'd be an army of the alien, the xenomorphs, and there's one Samus.
Now, see, I'm thinking, one, you could totally throw some Federation troopers in the mix.
Yeah.
And two, you could hypothetically let them use various creatures as part of their grunt force in the army, including the Metroids, since they managed to clone some and they were going to try and weaponize them.
And they're exceedingly powerful, but they come with the concept that they can turn on you if there's reasons.
Yep. There's got to be more food in front of them than behind them.
Yep. Also, they don't like hugs.
I think the Queen would definitely make for a really cool tank unit.
Oh my god, yeah. So you're almost picturing this more like the Dune game from Sega Genesis.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, I like it.
Dune, StarCraft, Warcraft, that whole RTS thing. Halo Reach, take your pick, whatever floats your boat.
I'm not super familiar with these kind of games, though.
That's all right. I mean, as long as you've seen it, you kind of have a baseline idea of what
Yeah.
you're dealing with here. And, like I said, I'm totally game for a completely ridiculous storyline just to have an excuse for it to happen.
My biggest complaint is this takes away the biggest aspect of what makes Metroid games, is the exploration.
It does, but we've certainly played with ideas that do just that anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Hell, even the series canonically has done it.
Yeah.
You've got stuff like Federation Force that is nowhere near any of that.
Larry, we don't talk about Federation Force.
All right, Bruno. Topical humor. Dun-dun.
The worst part is that's not the song stuck in my head.
But yeah, no, it was just a thought. Like I said, when you said it, my brain's like, that's not a bad idea. My brain just went, this would be fun to screw around with just for the pure ridiculousness. But
I could see aspects of it being like that, but as I said, I really like the idea of the hunters becoming the hunted, becoming the hunter, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the idea of, basically, I want this to be the Emmy fights, but huge.
Yeah.
Because the Emmy fights were decent, even though, as I said, Anxiety the Simulator. But, there were aspects of it that could have been expanded upon.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot you could have done with that. But I think, too, part of it was just they wanted to keep it focused enough so that they weren't trying to do too much.
Right. Seriously, I hated those parts. But
no, I definitely like the idea of the predator, of there being several predators essentially roaming around trying to stalk everybody else and take them out. I think it would be neat actually if on the Metroid side Samus did go down with a team or a unit of Federation troopers, and they kind of split up and started exploring in different directions, and you're getting radio transmissions throughout, and then little by little over the course of the game you stop hearing from some of them because they've been taken out.
Yeah. Or you could even get one that dies on one of them that dies on
radio.
On radio, there we go.
Yeah. I think you can only do that once though, and I think you got to do that a little bit later so that you're not giving it away so early.
Yes. I think it'd be neat to see, as I said, parts in the background where if you're really paying attention, you could see one of them watching.
Mm-hmm.
But only if you're paying attention because of their cloaking device.
Here's a fun idea to toss in the mix for you too. So at some point, Samus is on the run from one of the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Or from one of the xenomorphs. Booking it. Runs into a room where there's a big fucking Omega Metroid waiting, right?
Mm-hmm.
She manages to slide out of the room into a little corner cavern out of the way, but it's a dead end. So the only way to get out is to go back through that room. But it's a random number generation. It's a coin flip as to which creature comes out victorious in this fight. So you may end up having to get out and take on the alien or the Omega Metroid.
Ooh, I like it.
You can totally mix it up a little bit and increase your replayability with some of those random chance you're either going to get this boss fight or that boss fight type deal.
Yeah.
But it was just a thought. Not to mention too the joy of getting to sit there and watch those two duke it out.
Yeah.
Waiting to find out, who comes out on top. Like I'm envisioning this as an awesome scrap in my head. You never really get to see any of the big boss monster creatures in Metroid take on anything their own size, and I kind of want a Godzilla scale fight in the mix in a Metroid game finally.
Yes.
Like I need Kraid taking on Ridley.
Yeah. Taking on Ridley and a slew of the Yanti all at once. Is that what they were called? That was what they were called, wasn't it?
Which ones?
The Predators.
Oh! God, I don't remember. It's been ages since I've seen Predator. I don't remember anymore. Shit. You got me stumped on that one. Fuck. You're going to look it up, aren't you?
Fuck yes, I am. Have to know.
Attaboy. Why we put you as head of the research department.
Your funeral.
But no, I don't think it's that wild. I don't think it's that silly of an idea. It's definitely out there, but you actually had a way less silly direction to go with it than my brain went, truthfully.
Listen, I think you could definitely play up the horror of this.
Mm-hmm. You could. There's a lot of room to dive back into that whole, being hunted thing from Fusion for sure.
Yeah.
Dread never really gave you that hunted feeling because they were locked into their areas. But with Fusion, the SAX was fucking everywhere.
Mm. Plus, this also gives you the option that if you know what you're doing well enough, you can actually hunt these creatures.
Yeah. Actually, there's a new weapons direction you could go with it, is being able to have more trap-based weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love to see some of the crux of this involve setting traps along the way to protect yourself from, being stalked from behind, essentially.
Yeah.
So that it couldn't sneak up on you. At which point, I do think going in a first-person direction might be the way to go here.
I don't know, because I said, the first-person direction, I'm seeing. I think you would lose some of the being stalked feeling.
Maybe. Part of me thinks it works just because it provides a little more claustrophobic feeling for the player with the whole in-helmet aspect, for one. And it also makes it, too, so that you have a much more limited viewpoint of what's happening. You can only see what's actually happening in front of you, as opposed to, in a side-scroll perspective, being able to see all the way around.
Yeah. I just hate first-person games.
I know. And I get that. I'm just saying, this would be the optimal delivery vehicle to lean into the horror aspect.
This would be great in a first-person perspective if you're playing it VR.
Yeah.
I think honestly, if you're not playing VR, I don't think I want it to be first person. Which is interesting, because then technically it's almost two different games.
Yeah. We've essentially done 3 mini pitches over the course of this episode.
I don't know.
This is like the ultimate value episode of Phazon Labs.
Blue Light Special.
Right? buy one pitch, get two free.
Yeah, no shit.
So I'm just curious. Does any one particular group have a home field advantage here?
No.
Hmm.
I'm thinking it's another version of the Alien vs. Predator movie where they, like the Predators, which by the way are called the Yamcha.
Okay.
Yamcha or something like that. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Somebody can correct us on Twitter.
Y-A-U
At Phazon Labs.
Y-A-U-T-J-A. Anyway, but they've set up this ritual, like this ritual sacrificial type thing, just like they did on Earth for the Alien vs. Predator movie, where the fledglings hunt the xenomorphs. Somehow Samus gets mixed up in the whole thing. By the end of it, depending on how you survive and like multiple ending possibilities, one of them could be they recognize you as one of theirs.
Ooh. You know, I'm sitting here thinking about the whole, ritual hunt thing. And my brain goes, you could totally insert the Kraken into this really well too.
What's the
Because that's kind of the Kraken were the species that Trace came from in Prime Hunters on the DS, actually. And that whole ritual hunt thing was one of their things too.
Okay. Maybe Samus has a small team of them instead of the Federation force.
Like a real tenuous alliance with the Kraken.
Mm-hmm. They literally hire her as a bounty hunter to make sure one of the members comes back alive because Daddy's rich.
Your daddy's rich comment makes me want to reach through the internet and hurt you, but it made me chuckle all the same.
You know I'm right. Obviously, I don't know anything about Kraken, but
they didn't go real deep into it. They didn't go real deep into any of the side characters from Hunters either, though. But they did do a little bit of backstory for each, and it's actually kind of interesting. There's a lot of neat stuff to play with. You may want to check it out, honestly. If nothing else, dig it up on YouTube just to get yourself versed in it.
awesome.
But, all right, so what do we call this beast? This giant Hollywood crossover cash fest.
I think that. Yeah, I got nothing.
I kind of feel like going real simple here. Metroid, The Hunt.
You know what? I like that.
It's punchy. It delivers the point. It's got the right feel to it, I think.
Yeah.
So, well, in that case, let's wrap this up. I am fresh out of manila envelope, so this goes in my blue folder with the math homework from this week, and gets delivered to Sakamoto's desk, and we'll just sit here and wait for an email. So, with all that said, I want to say thank you to everybody who came and hung out with us this week here on Phazon Labs. Thank you to my lab partner Michael for bringing us a rather fruitful idea, actually, for something that was kind of intended to be a little off the wall. And we'll see you all next week here on Phazon Labs, powered by the World 1-1 Podcast Network. Press start to engage your mind. See you next mission. Peace!